day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brewing Coder here, and it's time for our weekly update. As you can see, we got Minecraft 1.8.9 loaded. We're going to take a look at what's been new this week. This is the week of, hell, I don't even know what day it is. This is the week of February 15th, 2016. A lot of shit's gone down this week. We'll get to that later. I mean, can't we all just get along? Alright, we're going to go take a look here. Got some stuff set up, by the way. Today's textures are brought to you by Lithos. Wanted to give this a try. I love the Lithos HD font. It makes things much more readable on your screen. So I figured I'd give the core resource pack a shot. So let's see what it looks like here. Go in. We're going to cover some of the newer mods that have hit CurseForge. First one we're going to look at is called Extra Golems. Brand spanking new for 1.8.9 with new golems. I made one earlier and he's done run off. It basically adds a whole bunch of new golems. If you like playing around with the iron golems, when you can find them and make them, all well and good, you can make a ton now. And really go visit the guy's site because he lists a whole bunch. I'm just going to cover it. It's real simple. You make a golem head. You make a golem head by combining a pumpkin and a golem spell, which is pretty easy to make. So you get a head. As long as you got a head, you can pretty much guarantee that any block material out there that's a vanilla block, you can make a golem out of. And they all have different stats. Some of the newer ones for 1.8.9 are going to be the Prismarine one. The uber powerful one, of course, is your diamond block. Gold blocks are pretty nice too. So it's real simple, just like anything else. We'll make a yeah, I'm flying. And there we go. There's our diamond golem. 220 health points. That's right, he can keep our base secure. He's got the ugly villager nose and the red eyes, but who cares? Let him do his thing. Now, they do have a creative golem. You know what? I wish we could get these guys. I wish we could have golem wars. Please make a way so I can have one golem attack the other golem, and then we can have, golem fights. I mean, how fun would that be? They have a bedrock golem. This apparently is the ultimate creative bad boy of bad boys. You can only get it through a creatively spawned egg. It cannot be created. But this guy is invincible. That's right. You're on a creative server. You want to have this do battle with a wither boss? Yeah, no problem. Whatever. Just slap those two bad boys in a room and let them go at it. Anyway, so we have extra golems. Lots of cool golems. Lots of stuff. Check them out. That's new this week. We also have Mr. Fusion. Now, Mr. Fusion is kind of named after that that old thing that went on the back of the DeLorean in Back to the Future. Doc Brown was always thinking up cool stuff. Well, this is generally the same thing, right? It turns all your crap shit into energy. Now, I got to tell you, it basically works at the concept of 1 RF per item you throw into it. So you have to throw a lot of crap into it. But what it also does is if you have Project E installed or something that has EMC values, which is equivalent exchange stuff, it will base the RF off of the equivalent exchange. So we can take a look, and the more we put in with the higher exchange rate, the more RF we're going to get out of it. So this is really, really cool. It's a single block structure. It's a little, kind of OP because you can throw put a cobble gen next to it, a whole bunch of cobble gens, slam cobble into this super fast. If we could get, extra utilities to get up to 1.8.9 and one of their super fast cobble gens, well, we can make that happen, make that generate a heck of a lot of RF. But this single block isn't what's cool. Mr. Fusion, all right, you got your block. We're creating some RF. What's really, really cool, and we looked at this last week. Let's go ahead. Let's throw some junk in here. What do we want to throw in? Let's throw in some diamond blocks. Let's see how what was their EMC. All right, throw in a stack of those bad boys. Where is that power going? Oh my God. How's the... It's a little wacky, I think. But how's the power getting over here? It's in our furnace now. Our furnace is charged. How did that happen? You want to know how that happens? We finally have a multi-part RF cable transport system in Fluxed Redstone. That's right, people. Finally. And, I know that there's a lot of tech happening in 1.8.9 now, but we have RF transport in a multi block cable here, multi-part cable. What that means is that we can do fun stuff with it with covers and hide the stuff, which we haven't been able to do until now. Neotech does not support multi-part. Even though they have the cables can do it, but Flux Redstone does. So Flux Redstone, go check them out. They've had a couple other releases, but I haven't really talked about them until now because I've had trouble getting them to interop with some of the stuff. But it seems to be fully stable now, fully working. I'm really happy with them. I do seem to see a little bit of a drain, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it seems that they do drain RF over time, and I don't know if there's a deliberate RF leak in the cables, like the cables are meant to consume RF for just standing around and providing their service. But we have the Flux Redstone wire, which I think transfers like 64 RF per tick, and then they go up in multiples of 8. So this is 64 times 8, this is 64 times 8 times 8, and this is 64 times 8 times 8 times 8. And they're each, decidedly more expensive. They can, unlike other, let's get rid of this golem crap we got here. They can, unlike other mods, by default, have their cable types interact and interconnect. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yes, it does. So, like if you Ender IO out of the box, their config does not allow the different levels of RF transport to interconnect. Flux Redstone does. So, what's really, really cool about Flux Redstone is this, and I'm going to break a block here. Oh my gosh, there's a cable. How do we do that? We did that with Chisel and Bits, because Chisel and Bits for 1.8.9 now supports covers, and I have made a positive design. And if you don't know how to do this, go take a look at there's a couple of YouTube videos out there on Chisel and Bits right now. The only thing I really don't like is that when you create your positive design for your cover, and basically what I do, right, is I sliced a block down to a single top layer and then took a design of that. Is that I can only use this design for the top layer. So if I had this exposed on, say, 3 sides, I would have to make 3 positive designs right now, 1 for each side. But I just take my positive design, click on it, and boom, we're covered. So we actually have a cable that runs under here. Pretty cool, huh? So that is exciting. I can finally start getting some automation in my base that doesn't look like a bunch of, jumbled wires. So pretty cool. Check them out. Fluxed Redstone. Take a look. They're updating frequently. It's a fairly new mod. It looks like the devs really only been working on it since the first of the year. So it seems like a great deal. Really cool. Next thing we want to talk about here is, of course, we got progressive automation has been updated for 1.8.9. If you're at all familiar with early game mechanics and some of the big mod packs, you'll know what progressive automation is. Progressive automation allows you to create machines that at different tiered levels that use different levels of tools, starting at your wooden, going up to stone, then iron, then diamond. They have a farmer, they have a wood chopper. They have a miner, right? Theoretically, the thing can take the place of almost an ender quarry, except that you'd have to provide a cobble gen for it to fill in spots. But very great. It's a great mod for getting automation early and getting machines early. and then using those machines and upgrading through the tiers. So if you know, go take. There's plenty of spotlights on progressive automation. Go take a look at it. Why I've got progressive automation here is because I want to talk about extra foods. I don't know if you remember last weekly episode. I mentioned that Pam's Harvest Craft not yet out there for 1.8.9. And I have apple core on one of my mod packs, and it talks about saturation. It increases the hunger level. I've got some extra hunger going on. Problem is, I don't have a lot of food, and there's not a lot of variety in that food, so I certainly can't put on Spice of Life because I would be extra screwed. So we got extra foods now. Throws a whole bunch of new foods in it. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm going to talk about some of the high points. What I have right here is a quick and dirty cheese processing plant. This progressive automation milker is milking away, and you can see that it's almost filling up these buckets as soon as they come in. There's just a simple little Neotech pipe transport that's got a guy on the bottom that inserts full buckets, guy on the side that extracts empty buckets, and we can watch the buckets come in. They get turned into cheese. The cheese stacks up down here. Pretty simple. And it just put in 3 buckets in this chain, and these 3 buckets will constantly go back and forth and make that happen. And, really, to be honest with you, I set this shit up, 10 minutes ago, and I got 43 cheese. If that ain't broken, I don't know what is, because that's that's a heck of a lot of food for us. So some of the other cool things that they have are new plants. We've got tomato crops. We've got lettuce. Let's go ahead and grab some bone meal here. Boom. Boom there, my tomatoes. Lettuce. So you see where this is going, right? Given that I'm an American, I want tomatoes, I want lettuce, I want cheese. That's right, I want hamburgers. I mean, plain and simple. Yes, they have burgers. And I've got the BLT sandwich. I've got the big old deluxe hamburger. It is really simple to make. Once you have some lettuce and some tomatoes and a cheeseburger, which is just slices of bread and slices of cheese, and it's awesome. So we're finally getting some great food mods. We've got peanut bushes. We're missing some texture information there, but okay, whatever. We got some strawberry bushes, right? We can right-click on these, get peanuts. I bet we can make peanut butter and jelly, strawberries. There's also a juicer in the mod, so I'm sure we can be making some juice. And it adds 2 new trees with saplings. One is a banana tree. Let's see, can we get that? Do we actually have to? Can we right-click or do we have to left-click? I can't left-click because I'm in creative mode. Yeah. All right, we got banana trees and we got olive trees. Oh, there's an olive. I right-clicked on it. Boom, olives. Awesome. So extra food, really cool. Definitely help us with the concept of having a variety of foods out there that'll make life a little bit more interesting for those of you that want to add hunger modifications to your 1.8.9 mod pack. So pretty cool. I've actually just put these into my mod pack and just started playing with them. Been running it for about 4 or 5 days. I can tell you that the tomato plants and lettuce plants, their seeds do not yet work in the progressive automation planter. It doesn't. The problem is when I harvest this right now, it does not return seeds to me. The only way to get seeds is to put the tomatoes that you receive from this back in your crafting grid to get the seeds. So there's a little bit of an issue there, because unless you get into some automation and you auto craft the seeds, it's not going to be a process. So I have my planters set up to not actually do the planting. I'll come around once or twice a day and throw down some seeds in a little plot and let the planter do the harvesting and put it in. So we're good to go there. Last 1.8.9 mod, because we're already at 15 minutes, is Storage Silos. Storage Silos is a brand new mod for 1.8.9, just got released. This is very similar to a mod we talked about last week, which was Easy Storage. This is, however, just a single block structure that holds 999 items, regardless of whether it's a single item or one each of 999 different items. Either way, 999. And then they've got the crafting silo version, which is the same exact thing, except it has a built-in crafting bench you can craft from your inventory. I mean, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, not terribly expensive out of the box, but like I said, I modify recipes all day long anyway. So let's take a look. Oh, see, we need an ender chest. So this is closer to middle game stuff. Yeah, and it's a little costly for I think for what you're getting. I'd much rather, to be honest with you, at this point start working on a easy storage system, which I know is overpowered, but it is what it is. So those are our 1.8.9 mods for the week of February 15th, 2016. Stay tuned, and I'll get over to 1.7.10. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is the Brewing Coder, and this is our community spotlight. Now, last time we talked a little bit about a streamer. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on in the community, and we're going to focus on Mekanism. If you guys remember last week, I talked a little bit about the fact that somebody had put a fork of Mekanism up on Curse. Yeah, and I commented on, wonder how long that's going to last. That was a week ago. It didn't last long. It went down yesterday. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about community. Let's talk about this shit, because this shit doesn't need to go on. Now, the author of Mekanism is a young kid. This is his senior year in high school this year. Smart kid, awesome, great mod. The fact that a senior in high school has this level of development experience is just beyond reproach. It's just awesome. However, I think that this whole situation could have been handled totally differently, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the guy needs a little bit of a learning experience in my book. I mean, granted, he's at the age of my kids. I may be a little bit old, but I'm talking for somebody who's been in the business of computers and development for the last 25 years. Let me tell you something. Let's take a look at his license on Mekanism. When he released the software, he released a license with the software that tells you what you can and cannot do with the software that he created. What does his license say? His license says that you have the right to use his code, learn from it, use it in your own mod. You even have the right to distribute this mod to the public and make money off of it, though that's not what he was going to do. He doesn't encourage it, but, he doesn't say you can't do it. This is what his license says. Somebody complied with his license and forked his code and put it on Curse. Now, let's not talk about whether that was a dick move or not. Yes, it was a little bit of a dick move. I'm all about the WWWD. What would Will Wheaton do? Will Wheaton says don't be a dick. Don't be a dick means don't do something like that without having a discussion with it with Aiden first. But they did it. However, what they did was not against his license. Now, here is where I take exception to Mr. Aiden. Mr. Senior in high school, you created a license for your software. You need to be willing to abide by that license. Not only that, it has been 3 days since you forced Curse to take down a legally forked copy of your code, and you haven't changed your license. Your license is still in effect. If Curse wanted to take this to the floor in a courtroom, you would have lost, hands down. Nothing you can do about it. You made a license, and you're not abiding by that license, nor have you updated the license to reflect your true nature. Now, you can't retroactively change licenses, so the license is only going to apply to forks that have happened, from that point going forward. However, change your license or comply with your existing license. It's that simple. So, I know I'm being a little soapboxy here, and yes, the guy made a dick move, but we could have all handled this like adults a little bit better instead of having Curse pulled down. I don't know what you have against Curse. Is it the monetization? Because, I flip through your Twitter feed and I see that you're going to Microsoft conventions and you're doing a lot of work with tech with big companies. I'm sure you're going to monetize your ability. open source software is about the community. It's about sharing your knowledge and letting other people learn from it and do what they want with it. And I got to tell you, you don't get a lot of monetization from Curse. Trust me. You get a $20 gift certificate for Amazon or iTunes. It's, they're in business. They got to pay for all that hardware that they run, and they open that community up to us. Shit in life ain't free, dude. And I know that you're a senior in high school, but it is what it is. They are hands down the best modded Minecraft community right now. Hands down. Feed the Beast was getting there. Their big problem was they just didn't have the infrastructure to let people create their own custom mod packs. With the mod pack installer Curse is just phenomenal. The fact that you can create a private profile and tailor tweak Minecraft to be what you want. So you really, to handle this like an adult, we would just say, okay, I'm gonna suck it up and I'm gonna abide by my current license. Take down the forkers code and let me put up my current version of 1.7.10 of Mekanism, and then for your new version, it's going to support 1.8 or 1.81 or 1.89, or you're going to wait till 1.9, whatever. Change your license. Create a new repo, change your license, abide by the new license in your new repo. Whatever. That's how it should have been handled. I mean, otherwise, really, you are not abiding by the license that you published. Not only that, you haven't gone and changed it. So, do what you need to do, but you haven't updated. Like, this README hasn't been updated for a month, dude. So, maybe go in here and maybe make a change. So, Aiden, there's a lot of stuff in life that happens that we don't like. But some of it we just have to suck up and move on. I would have taken that opportunity to put my mod up on Curse and said, here, this is from the real author, this is real me, and take advantage of that. And then do what you want with your future versions. So, because this has caused a backlash, let me show you something. Because of what you've done, we have an issue with Betania. Now, Betania, Vasky's been really busy working on PSI. She is another young kid out there just burning up the airwaves with these mods. She is, I gotta tell you, between you, Aiden, and Vasky, you make a bright future in the Minecraft world. And she's been working on the side, but she hasn't really done much with Betania. However, somebody forked it. Willie Willis forked it and modified it a bit to work on some different ways. And he put it up on Curse. And she allowed him to do it because her license specifically says that. It is what it is. It's forking and rebranching, and code is what it's about. Now I get that the user who forked your product didn't make a change to it. However, she's now had to put this whole disclaimer on her website in a publicly visible spot that specifically gives this guy permission to fork and change her product. She shouldn't have to do this. Why shouldn't she have to do this? Because the damn original license gives him the ability to do that. Plain and simple. So now Curse, I see, is going to be calling every damn person out there who's got a forked mod and having them go through this BS because of this. When the original license is in compliance. Let's talk about something else. Just because I like to, I'm a boat stirrer. 17 hours ago, someone named Erogenous Beef created a Curse account and uploaded big reactors. Right? If you guys have played with big reactors, you know Erogenous Beef created big reactors. So let's take a look here. We got no profile. Joined 17 hours ago. No logo or no avatar. And the current version for 1.7.10 of Big Reactors is now up on Curse. So let's go take a look at Big Reactors here. Because it's up on GitHub too. We haven't seen or heard from Erogenous Beef on GitHub Since April 27th of 2015, that's almost a year. Almost a year. Now, Mr. E-Beef is probably busy. Probably a young kid, was probably in college, wrote this kick-ass mod, got noticed, got hired, maybe found a woman, maybe fell in love, maybe had some kids, maybe got some real life. He hasn't been back in the modding community since April 27th of 2015. He hasn't even... Let's look. He's got 4 pull requests sitting out there that go all the way back to July 26th. Pull requests when somebody offers to fix your code for you and send it to you. Erogenous Beef's not around. Plain and simple. Clear as day, this dude is not active in the modding community right now for whatever reason. I'm not blaming him for it because that kind of shit happens. Somebody. I can tell you that there are several forks out there of people already modifying this to bring it up to 1.8.9. You can easily see that by clicking on the forks. Let's come down here. Let's see who's doing recent work. Let's see, we're in February. We can see that Modmus, great mod developer, he's working on a version. Thompson124 working on a version. We got Will71, Cyberdyne. These guys are all, they all have their own version of big reactors that they're working on. Because this is open source software. This is what you do. You fork it. Modmus, when I looked at his code base, definitely looks like he's trying to pump it up to 1.8.9. He's just kind of stalled out now because we don't have COFH core, which is the core for Redstone Flux by the COFH team. When this happens, one of these guys is gonna officially publish the 1.8.9 version. It's gonna happen. They put in a lot of work. They've made changes. Now, granted, I know that the Mekanism fork wasn't changed. It was just simply forked and published. But this is what happens with open source software. So my guess is that Mr. Forking Coder or Forking Forger or whatever his name was who uploaded the Mekanism, or some other smartass who is having a beef with the fact that Curse is actually requesting his licenses, forked the code, logged on erroneously and fraudulently as Erogenous Beef, and uploaded big reactors here. That's just my guess, because Erogenous Beef has been vacant from the modding community. So, whatever. This is our community spotlight. When you create a license for software and you're part of open source software, stick to the license you create. Except that hard work that you put into it is for the community, and where the community is going to benefit. And Curse right now is the de facto hands down community. I'm not a big fan of monetizing stuff, open source software, but the little bit of monetization that Curse gives you is really just to encourage you to put your mods there rather than have them out in a separate location. Why did they do that? They do that because it'll work with their launcher. You know, it's as simple as that. So, enough of my soapbox, enough of that. Mr. Aiden C. Brady, I applaud your coding ability. I applaud your technical skills. I think you should reconsider the whole issue with Curse and publish your version there and take the higher road instead of just demanding that it be taken down. So, if you want to follow all this, simply go and look at the Mekanism repository on GitHub and take a look there, because you will no longer find it on Curse. And this is the Brewing Coder, and I probably pissed off enough people today, so I am out of here.